This episode is brought to you by TwoLinedMusicHutStore.com. TwoLinedMusicHutStore.com is your all-access to culture. Check out cultural merchandise like leggings, hats, mini boxing gloves, and bags. Also t-shirts like hip-hop, nature, rock bands, reggae, and dark fantasy. Fast shipping worldwide. That's TwoLinedMusicHutStore.com. Now let's check out this episode. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast. And today we have a really special guest in the building. Listen, this man has been in the business from the 80s right now until 2021. He's brought you classical hits like Trying to Get to You, Take Me Away, Bull in a Pen, Maniac, so much more. And right now he has a brand new album, a historical album called Mother and Son. You know, we have in the building today, we have Mr. Richie Stevens in the building today. What's going on, big boss?
Everything is good, my brother. My grandmother said, yeah, skin your teeth like when donkey eat cane. You ever hear them talk that?
Yeah.
That means everything is good, man. Even though we're going through such a dark period in this life, but everything is still good because we still got life, you know?
You understand, and that's the most important part, because without life, you can't do anything.
Yes, sir.
All right, good, because we have so much ground to cover. We're going to try to cover as much as possible, because with you, your legacy and your journey is so far in this business. So this is how we start on this program here. We like to go right from beginning and then bring it up right to 2021. So my first question for you is this. Where did you grow up in Jamaica, and what type of child were you?
Well, we grew up in a Westmoreland. Sablamar, Westmoreland, a little community called Hudson Street, popularly known as Russia. Yeah, and anybody from Westmoreland, I would tell you, so them know Russia. Yeah, it's a very popular place. So that's where I grew up for most of my youth life. And when I was about 16, we went to Spanish Town to live with the father. And after that, we've been all over the place.
All over from there. And what type of child were you coming up? Were you curious? Were you shy? What type of child was Mr. Richie?
I was a very active child. I grew up, wanted to do everything, trying to learn to do everything, especially physical things such as football, cricket. I was big in believe it or not, in acrobatics. Some people say gymnastics. I was that kind of child who wanted to do everything physically. So I would say I had an eventful childhood growing up.
So when did you discover music? Not your voice, but music, like some artists and stuff that you liked growing up?
As far as I can remember, Dennis Brown is the artist that I first identify with coming up as a youth. As a youngster, I used to just love Dennis Brown tunes, you know? Tunes like, I've got to get myself together. Can't afford to let my faith go. Them tune there. You understand me? If I follow my heart, oh, I'm gonna love you. And then all of the elders them in the era used to drink at a certain bar. Would have called me up and say, listen, we here say you can't sing, you know, and punch. Them times you put your money into the jukebox and you can play the A or the B sides. So they used to play the B side to the instrumental and ask me to sing. And they would put me on a crate as a youngster. And when I sing, the excitement was always enormous. You know, even though I was a shy kid, I wasn't shy to sing. And it wasn't until somebody one day was so impressed that they went looking for my mother and tell my mother that, listen, Mama Carmen, you have a superstar son in the making. You know, my mother laugh and joke around. And, you know, after a while, she realized that I was really blessed with a voice for real. You understand? But I never used to sing for my family. I used to just keep it to myself. You know, as I say, I was kind of shy. But after a while, when I start singing for people outside of my family now, and, you know, the feedback been coming to them, they forced me to sing. To say, listen, you're going to have to let us hear you live. And I sing for them, and then it was a general consensus that yes, you're blessed with some musical talent, So from there on, I was talking at about age 8, 9. So it was a very young age. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So then when you decided to actually sing for your family, what did they tell you when they heard you sing?
Everybody was very surprised what they were hearing,
Mm-hmm.
They were like, really? So all this time you have this voice here hidden and so and so. And some of my cousins would say, but I heard him one time and, I said to him, you need to sing for your mother. And he said, no, not yet. And all these things. So some of them know, some never know. But it was a great celebration of music because, now there's an extra person that can put in a line or two in the music. You understand me?
For sure. And you even said Dennis Brown was your big influence also. What was it about Dennis Brown in particular that you just liked about Dennis Brown?
Dennis Brown is a standard. Any singer will tell you that. Any Jamaican singer will tell you that. Dennis Brown came with a style that captivates everyone. Music people, non-music people, and just everybody. We said Dennis Brown is a singer. The style that he created, the way he sing his slurs and phrases, it's second to none. It's just very, very creative. And most of us came in the business patterning Dennis Brown style. So I was one of the many, many artists that came in the business sounding like Dennis Brown. He's the master of it. It's the standard, as I say.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I know because even before music, I know you were dancing before music. How did that go?
Well, you know them thing, the boss. Well, I got music from both sides, my mother's side and my father's side. Because my father was not a singer, but he was a music collector and one of the baddest dancers in Kingston. Okay. Because I was born in Westmoreland and grew up in Westmoreland, but my father is a Kingstonian that lives in Kingston. And I never grew up with my father. I never really met him till I was about 17 when I moved to Kingston. Long story. But anyway, my father was one of the baddest dancers and in him dance group from them times. And me growing up in the country, never knew about that, but just ended up being a dancer as well with my dance group. So we used to go to the different parties and clubs and just really take over the whole dance floor, me and my friend them, So that's kind of one of the way I came up in the entertainment business way before I was established as a singer.
Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure you having the acrobatic side of you already, that helped you in the dancing.
Well, to be honest with you, that was what we used to use in addition to just dancing. We used to use, because them time I talk about disco dancing, break dancing. That used to involve a lot of physical attributes where we jump up and we do backflips and somersaults and all them kind of things. And so we used to just conquer the dance floor everywhere we go. We just kind of just mash up every dance group, collect whatever prize there is to collect and just gone we are. So that is kind of how I started in the entertainment business before I decided to go into singing fully.
And what was your transition like now from a dancer to a singer? What was that road like?
Okay, well, being a dancer, what I was getting from going out there to dance was to learn how to be comfortable in front of a crowd. Because when you're singing or when you're dancing, you have one thing in common. You're going to have to go out there and face the public and do what you're doing. So getting all that experience from dancing, when I decided to start do more singing, it was kind of a little easy on me because I already used to it. You understand me? So I find out that people really love to hear me sing. Because when I was going to school, one day I was singing and the teacher, I was singing close to a classroom and the teacher came out the classroom and called me and said, come here. You love to sing? Why are you making up noise outside of my class? Come inside the class and put me in front of the class and ask me to sing. Sing the song that you were singing outside, disturbing my class. And all of the kids them sit down and I look. All the students I look, man, and me no know what to do now because them time they are the young days. And I remember I sing the song. It was a Luther Vandross song called Never Too Much. I can't fool myself, don't want nobody else to ever love me. You are my shining star, my guiding light, love fantasy. There's not a minute, hour, day or night that I don't love you. You're at the top of my list, cause I'm always thinking of you. I still remember in the days when I was scared to touch you, how I spent my day dreaming, planning how to say I love you. You must have known that I had feelings deep enough to swim in. That's when you opened up your heart and you told me to come in. Oh, my love. You know that tune there?
Of course.
That tune there?
Of course.
Well, I don't sing the tune today. I'm going to sing the tune and the whole class catch a fire now and really start rap and get up and start dancing all these things. And I remember looking up at the teacher, and the teacher there was this big smile on her face. And I sing and finish the song, man, and them start crying more. Anyway, I step out of the classroom and the teacher follow me and say, come here, you know that you're very, very talented. How you just sing the song? And what was impressive to her is that I know the song word for word.
Okay.
But that was very easy for me because I used to study every song. Anyway, that teacher became my first die-hearted fan. When you talk about die-hearted fan, somebody that just loves you as an artist.
Yeah.
So that was my first experience in learning that someone, a female teacher at the school, just really loved me as an artist. And she would follow me up to say, hey, when are you singing again? I would love to come, all these kind of things. So that was a very good motivation for me in music.
Mm-hmm. And this was at the point where you decided to leave dancing and go full force into music?
Yes, I didn't leave dancing altogether, but I really now realize that, hey, singing is really what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is the direction I want to go. Yeah.
And what were some of your early steps after you made up your mind, this is what I want to do? How did you go about trying to get into the industry now?
All right. So when I leave school, I went straight to, remember I'm from Westmoreland.
Mm-hmm.
Negril is 18 miles away from Savlamar.
Mm-hmm.
And them time Negril was like the reggae capital of the world, with reggae music playing, live band playing 7 nights a week. Mm-hmm. So once you have a talent, it's easy to pick up a job in Negril. So my first job was with a band called Umoja. And I used to be not a singer, not a musician, but a roadie.
Yeah, okay.
Where I go and set up the band and plug in the wires and pull down the band when them finish and put up the box them on the truck and drive the box to the next venue and all these things. So that was my first little stint at about 16 years old. You understand? Until one day they were having a rehearsal and they were running some tracks and the lead singer wasn't there. And the other guy that I was being the roadie with, it was 2 of us as roadies. Mm-hmm. Him just decided to run up his mouth and say to the band leader, that song there, the band I play now, he know it and him can sing it. So the man looked like, yeah, right, you know? And did I play the song, the D Brown tune. So the guitarist said, but if you know the song, sing the song, no, man. So me, step up and take the mic and love is never to say you're sorry, you're gonna be my baby. I've been watching you a mighty long time, hoping you will be mine. Yeah, wearing all those fancy dresses, sure look tougher than the rest. And the band leader, stop the band altogether. And say, tell me something. So when you, did I go tell me this, Virgin?
Yeah.
So, them time there, you know, me a little youth, me have no experience, me don't even know what to say to the man. So, I say, you know no, man. Man say, all right, and him start play, and him say, me know no more D Brown, and any D Brown him play, me sing it. Them time me know every D Brown song, and still know every D Brown song up to now. So, of course, you know, so my job changed from that time right into being a singer in another band.
Okay.
So that was my first experience now, getting to sing different people's song, not just Dennis Brown, but all the popular hits and so. And I do that for about almost a year until the opportunity now come for me to go and visit my father in Kingston.
Okay.
And when I went, the first place was Spanish Town. When I went to Spanish Town and meet my father now in person, it was very exciting for me. You can imagine a child growing up not knowing a father. And for some reason, it turned out now that I know my father. It was leaving from Westmoreland to Spanish Town, which is just a few minutes to Kingston. With Kingston, you know, all of the recording studio them there. So, of course, you know how my Gladbach bus them time there. So I remember now, my sister was the first one who I told, like, a singer. And we used to sing for her, and she used to be so impressed. But then she don't tell my father and nobody else. We are keep it a little secret, you know. And my father hear me sing one day and said, "No, sir. Are you a sing that? No, man, we have to bring it to someone." There's this youth named Neville Morris that my father grew up in the same community with. That is in Waterhouse, a place called Mackinac Crescent.
Okay.
And he was living in Spanish Town to some father. Bring me one day, go over there. And said, "Boy, my son, this is what I tell about, you know, can sing and everything." He was the lead singer of a band again. Them time the live band used to do everywhere. Boy, I will tell you, we miss them days, I see Bridget.
Trust me.
Trust me, Bridget. Live band used to be everywhere. Anyway, them strike up the band, and them time I know a wide repertoire of songs. If you see Dennis Brown, me there. If you see Lionel Richie, me there. If you see Luther Vandross, me there. Everybody. You understand? Every top 10 hits. So the man them play and them play and them play, and we just a sing song. And before you know it, the little yard where we have in the rehearsal, if it was 10 people there when we come, by the time it reach halfway into the song, them 200 people out the door, brother. The entire community come down because them never hear the voice say it.
Yeah.
Them used to the other people singing. But this is a new singer come now, and I say, "Who that?" And people are leave them yard and come. So by then, my confidence grew through the roof. I realize now, say it's not just a community thing, and my community people thing. Community people them a cheer for me. It was a big thing. Everywhere I go, is this the excitement growing? Because of course, you know that I am getting more experience now in the music.
For sure.
And immediately, them employ me as a singer in the band, and we start go everywhere go sing now, boss. We are go in a Kingston, in a Ochi, all about we are go sing now, you know. So it was like the platform for me to go to higher heights at that time.
Okay. And when was the first time you entered a recording studio to actually record a song?
All right. The first time I entered a recording studio, that was in about 1985.
Okay.
Yes, about 1985. Singing my way around Spanish Town, and everybody now I talk about this bad singer coming to town, and the youth are bad. And I used to sing Stevie Wonder, Part-Time Love. And that was like a big drawing card. When we sing that song up on stage, everybody would have just gather around, and the girls them scream and all this thing. "Gonna bring one, sing up the phone to let me know you made it home. Was not me, my part-time lover." That song there. I used to draw that song there, and it's like my drawing card and thing. But then there was this Indian man that used to live in Yorktown. They used to call him Braga. Passed and gone, may God rest his soul. He was the first person to give me an opportunity to record. In 1985, we went to Aquarius, a recording studio in Halfway Tree. And I remember when I go to the studio, nervous like hell, you know, man, because you talk about the studio where Dennis Brown and Beres Hammond and Gregory Isaac and the whole of them, man, they used to hang out. So go to the studio in the morning and thing, and the band go in and set up. Them time, the studio time was an all-day type of thing. It wasn't like now we just go in and you press computer and press this and press that. They used to do music from scratch, where the drummer will take a few hours to tune him drum, and engineer have to tone each piece of the drum, the kick drum, the hi-hat, the snare, and all these things. Then the guitarists have to come and tune up. So it take a while to put it all together before you even start to record. I remember we did the day and all type of superstar passed through, and first them asked, who for session today? And the man say, them youth, the man say, who are the singer? Man point and said, the youth, the man. So it was very nerve-wracking. But at the same time, it was a great experience to kind of broaden my horizon, to give an understanding of how the business operate. And the song was Pull Up Selector. It's an original of mine. Pull it up, selector, leave this one here for later. This little one make a trouble in the dance. That's the first song that we ever write. Pull Up Selector. And we record the tune. The tune get a few little play on the ear. And after that, I moved now from Spanish Town to Ochi.
Okay.
When we got Ochi, that was a different type of thing again, because this is now the North Coast, where we're singing 6 nights a week in a hotel. But before I got the hotel job, the first person I worked with was Carl Young. Okay. Now, you probably wonder who Carl Young was. Carl Young was the owner of IRA FM. Okay. But IRA FM wasn't there yet. IRA FM was just an idea. So Carl Young, of course, was running a native floor show that white people used to come watch fire dancing and limbo dancing and all these things. And I used to be one of the singers in the band. Okay. And we do that for a number of years. And then after that, we leave from this and we go Montego Bay and hook up with a youth named Ed Robinson. The singer Ed Robinson, knocking on Evan's door. Do some recording down there. So while I was working also in Sandals Hotel. And we did there and we had to do some recording every day up at Ed's studio, and I recorded a song called So Amazing, a Luther Vandross tune. Yes. And there's this youth now that used to work at the bank named Byron Murray, who turned out to be Vegas manager years after. But I was the one, Murray's entry into the business was to actually pay, not to produce the song. The song was produced by Ed Robinson, but pay for Stamper and all the expenses to put the song on road. Got you. So the song come out and start play on the ear and start going good. And it caught the ear of many other producers, such as Top Rankin. Top Rankin is big time producer who used to produce people like Delroy Wilson and Denbach. And Top Rankin decided, say, boy, he want to record me. So I'm saying, no problem. So on the way to Kingston, we're coming to record another Luther Vandross tune. And he was playing some rhythms while we're driving. And I listen to the rhythm them, and him did I drive and we start hum a melody. You better get out of town before I string up my sound. You must be foolish to come try. So I asked him which song that. Someone say it's not really a song. We just a vibe something. Him said, no man, that me want. Forget about the other song. That song that me want. Yeah. So we went straight to Dynamic Sounds. Big studio them time there. And we went to the studio and put on a rhythm and we just sing down the song. I remember Leroy Smart coming out the studio the day and hear the song and said, who sing the song? And the song a boss. The artists are gone. Man, them say that youth there, and Leroy Smart said, big up yourself, youth, you sound wicked, you have a boss. You know, see it, and when the song they drop, it just become an instant hit. You understand me? So,
this is Buff Baff we're talking about here.
Yeah, man, Buff Baff. That was the start of my recording career now. Buff Baff. It was a runaway hit. Just mash up everywhere. You know, people from Japan and England and everywhere now, Europe start calling for specials. So that's when you know you have a hit song, when all the sound systems start calling for sessions, you know? And then for specials, and then you hear it in all the dances, it start kill a lot of sound. Can I tell you something like one? Before I leave Montego Bay, because I was in Montego Bay and recorded that song, there was a big sound clash. Okay. How they used to do Sunsplash back then. Sunsplash on the opening night, they used to have like a 10 sound clash. So all of the top sounds from Stone Love Metro Media, Inner City, you name it, all of them big sounds. And you have sounds from Montego Bay as well. And the sound from Montego Bay was a song called Pieces and Tika Music and Electro Force. Now, Electro Force was my little sound now that we used to move with. And them just get the 45. See? Because I remember now that the Mobile sound them could never compete with the Kingston sound them when it comes to dub plates. Mm-hmm. So anyway, the session I go on. I wasn't even there, you know. I wasn't even there. I was at work at night. Mm-hmm. And the session I go on me here and Stone Love them have the place away and the little sound. I hear from people, you know. Mm-hmm. Electro Force. So listen, a Mobile we come from, you know. Ono come from Kingston, you know. So you see that tune that we're going to play now is a Moby artist. Because them time I live in Montego Bay, so everybody thinks I'm a Moby artist, but I really come from Westmoreland. Okay. So the man said that tune that we're playing is a Moby artist. And you need to listen to this. I'm dropping on the tune and say, you better get out of town before I string up my sound. And because them come from out of town, and Little Force come from Montego Bay. I hear say, brother, for about 10 minutes straight, a beer gunshot. Them time that was legal gunshot, a fire and a dance. And I like now where man I say, bo, gunshot, a fire and a dance. So the night when that one, me, you know, I leave work from the hotel, me used to sing. I go home. So when me reach in a Mobile city now, grab a cab to go home to where me live. I just see a group of man just rush me and say, see the man here. And when I look, I see a brethren in the crowd, I know, and them I say, yo, them not tell you what going on. I mean, I say, no, what, man? Them start telling me, say, boy, you're true killer sound and real, and them time that them think they are big things in a brethren. Mm-hmm. You understand? And it's like, they feel great about it. I'm going to go home on my yard. So the next day, every sound man I look for me in a Montego Bay. From Stone Love to Inner City, Metro Media. You name Ian from Roadstar. I supposed to know Ian.
Of course.
Every man I look for me. Mm-hmm. So, but then I get the news of who am I going here? So this man I look for me, this man I look for me. So Monday now on Mondays used to be my day off from the hotel singing job. And I decide, say, all right, I'm going to Kingston and see what I go on. You see, when I go Kingston, brother, I'm growing a jammies. And when me growing a jammies and all of the sound and them realize say the singer was sing boof buff, they're on a jammies. Me I sing dub for about 3 days straight in a bridget. Me sing so till my pocket. Them couldn't hold money. Big up King Jammies because a whole heap of youth to make eat food. Whole heap of youth in many different ways, from hit songs to dub plates to all of these wonderful things. So we want big up King Jammies. See, my first set of money when me making a music business was around a Jammies place. So much so that we could have used the money there and set up a business for my mother down a country. See? So we have big up.
Oh, the dub plates.
Yes, man. Yes, man. Them time the dub plate a big thing. When you have a hit song, brother, you do dub plate till you're weak. As me say, me sing Rona Jammies, me sing so much dubs that my pocket them couldn't hold no money again. I remember I'm there to tell the man them said tomorrow. I want to come back tomorrow and sing again at the same thing. They said tomorrow again at the same thing. And then me just go back down a Montego Bay if you go tell the band one thing. Say, gentlemen, no disrespect, but just find another singer because me really need to just leave this job and go Kingston go live. Same way me tell the man them. You know, see it. So me just come back in a Kingston, come live Bridging and just decide, say, listen, a straight recording right now. We're done with the North Coast thing. Come and do that for a while. And, you know, even though the North Coast was a great training school because it prepared me vocally for all of the wonderful things that I've done through the years. But, you know, you want to make another step, you know? So the perfect timing was to step out while having a hit song. Okay. You understand? So that was the beginning of my recording career, sir.
Because I remember at that time there, you'd hear songs like Bodyguard inner city, as you said, everybody playing that, and it had a different type of rhythm, like a dun 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 dun. And
Yeah.
sometimes you would hear it on Panani rhythm too. And when that comes in, the only other artist at that time that was doing dubs that sounded like you, especially with the voice effects and stuff like that, was Johnny Osborne. With that big heavy voice, and you'll make sounds. You guys
Yeah,
were the
yeah, yeah,
only
yeah.
in that dub world.
Them time the dancehall was very, very special, Virgin, because there's so much different level to represent on. Dub plate was one of the most challenging, one of the most rewarding, yet one of the most creative things to do. Because some people have a hit song, and don't even know how to do dub plates, because there's an art in doing dub plate to make it effective.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just sing the song how you sing it on the record. Sometimes you have to start with the verse or start with the chorus, whichever way to make it effective. But ultimately you have to sing it so it can kill a song. Yeah. So some of we as singers used to get a lot of dubs to do, because we know how to do the dub them to make it hurt sounds in a dancehall. Mm-hmm. You understand me? And that is the reason why I start doing buff buff and punana rhythm instead of the original rhythm. Because punana rhythm is more aggressive, and when you come in and say, better get out of town, and boom, 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 it's like it does very, very effective. Mm-hmm. So we start doing that way there and thing, and so it's just an art in the business. It's really sad to know that them thing there is not as prominent as before. Yeah. Because I think it helped to make. All right, another thing about dub plate singing and dancehall back then. Mm-hmm. To sing a dub is not like now, where you sing it like you do in a recording, and you stop and you come again and you take this and come and take. You have to sing straight, mm-hmm. because dub was cutting live on acetate. Mm-hmm. So while you're singing, it's recording. So if you stop or you make a mistake, you spoil up the acetate. So if you become a spoiler of acetates, a lot of sound would want to cut dub with you, because them can't afford for you to spoil up them acetate. So it gives you a chance to be sharp and to think ahead and just know, so listen, you have to be creative right through this 3 minutes of singing this dub. You can't make no mistake, and you have to sing it and make it effective and make sense. So it keeps you sharp as an artist.
You're right. And even when that song there came out, Buff Bath, I remember you had done a lot of early work with Dennis Starr, but it seems like those songs were recorded first, but it was after Buff Bath is when we started to hear Rufus and all of those songs that were recorded for Dennis Starr. Yeah,
well, Dennis Starr was after Buff Bath. Mm-hmm. I met Dennis Starr and Juni Starr, mm-hmm. and started doing a lot of work with them down at Tough Gang. So tunes like DB DB Sound Boy, DB DB Sound Boy, anything you do, I can do it better. My sound is the roughest, and all them songs that start come out. And we did quite a few recordings and things. So we have to big up Dennis Starr and Juni Starr as a part of the foundation of Richie Stevens store.
Mm-hmm. So then now you have all of these songs coming up. So did you move to Kingston permanently, or you went back to West Milan at this time here?
No. I stayed here, man. From them time that we are talking about, we're there till now, mm-hmm. because it's the capital of the music, Kingston. Is where all the studios. Not like now, we have a studio in every community or in every household. Them time there are a few studios in Kingston. Mm-hmm. You understand? With a few other little ones in Montego Bay or Ochi, but predominantly it was Kingston, the big professional studios, the Dynamic Sound, the Aquarius, the Tough Gangs, and all of them sounds, them studio there is right here in Kingston. So this was a place to be.
Good to go. So now you have these you have this massive hit, especially, but this is a real dancehall hit. What was your next move now to really get into the radio hits and all of those stuff there?
All right, so by then now, I started working with a lot of different producers. I saw it by them time they come and people recognize the talent. Everybody just come and present a rhythm or so, and whatever you like, you just sing. So the hit starts coming. As I said, after the whole Buff Buff thing, we do some work with Dennis Starr, and then I met Donovan Jermaine and start sing some tune for him that was really massive, tunes like "Ooh, the Shape of Me." Would you believe Donovan Jermaine tunes like I see forever in your eyes. Donovan Jermaine tune. I've got a weakness for sweetness, and everyone knows Donovan Jermaine tune. So I've scored a lot of hits with Donovan Jermaine. Big up Donovan Jermaine because you add to the catalogue of Richie Stephen in a very rich way, sir. See? Yeah, man.
How did you meet Jermaine in the first place?
Well, we go back in them time there. A producer either send come call you or you just go check out the vibe down at them studio. So I can't remember quite how it go. But I just know that me end up at a penthouse and a rhythm was playing and no man, me not talk the story right. It was Beres Hammond. When Beres Hammond attempted to touch. You see Beres up a halfway tree. Up the record, there was a big record store up there where all of the people from all over the world and all over Jamaica come buy records. Hot half of the press. And I remember here Tempted to Touch the day inside there. And we as artists used to go there to listen to what's new as well. And I hear the Beres Hammond tune. And I said, blow, that Beres bad. No, this mad. And then later on, I step outside and go around to the Skateland. I don't know if you know the setup out half a tree stay. You come out of the record shop or the studio and you go around to Skateland with all of the artists, them there hang out. I'm still Beres Hammond.
Okay.
So when they attack and I say, boy, that new tune, they're mad. And I say, Jeremy produce it now. I'm matter of fact, you know, him down there record for the rhythm, you know. Go tell him me same for record. I say, what? I love sing a song for the rhythm. So I just a boom and jump on a taxi. Them time the man no one carry it or nothing. Jump on a taxi and just a boom and go down a penthouse. Not where it is now, not at Balata. It was on Slipen Road.
Yes.
We go down Slipen Road, man, and Tony Kelly was the engineer. Tony Kelly and Dave Kelly was the engineers down there.
Yes.
And go in and tell Jermaine what Barry say. And him say, oh, yeah, man, I always want work with you too, you know. So, Tony, give this man the rhythm. So I take the rhythm from him and go home and listen to the rhythm. And all I could hear is, ooh, the shape I'm in. Would you believe I have lost the race again? I'm say, okay, I'm going to sing this. So I call up Cancer from Stone Love and say, Cancer, may I come check your fit? The song when I'm trying to get to him. Say, yeah, man. I'm going to go check in and give me the song. I learn the song, go down to the man. It was an early morning. We go sing the song. Tony Kelly was there and ting and the man. Him say, ready, we're going. Ooh, the shape and sing down the song. Don't sing the song and leave the studio. I'm going to get back no call from Jermaine. So I wonder if him like it or he not like it. But the next thing me know, brother, me just start get beer call from people. Richie, that new tune, they are murder. That tune, they bad. So I say, which tune? People sing the tune. I say, yeah. So when we hear the tune now and hear the mix, I think it's really Tony to be credited for this song because the arrangement of the mix, highlighting the voice in the beginning was very creative. And that to me is one of the reasons why the tune was so massive and still one of my biggest tunes today.
That's crazy. Just for something that it wasn't even really planned. You guys just put it together, said, okay. And you didn't know what the song was going to do for you for something that turned out to be so massive in hindsight.
Well, to be honest with you, that's how some of the biggest songs come about. It's never usually a planting where you sit down and you write it out and you say, I'm going to do this tomorrow morning and I'm going to do that. Sometimes you just buck up into a big song. You just go to a studio and read my play and you start hum something and engineer say, yeah, man, that sound wicked. You know, it's so big tunes have a history of coming out of a natural vibration than a planned vibration. That I can do.
When did you connect with Bobby Digital?
Bobby. I know Bobby from Jammy's days, but wasn't too linked to him back then. But when he moved to UN then, I remember I go up there, go check him and thing. When he just started, the studio was in his house, not around the back. And I go record a tune him, yo, and me sell the yo, that was the first song. And we just became bridgings. You understand? Bridgings. Because Bobby is a principal man like myself. Him love do things a certain way, and so we could identify with each other from earlier. We did a couple of recording, including a song called Crush, Left Me With a Broken Heart, and many more. You know, and I hail Bobby as one of the best producers of our Jamaican music.
100% agreed. One other duo that I know you did a lot of work with, also even lately you did work with them, Steely and Clevie. How did you guys connect?
Steely and Clevie. Cleve is from a family that I respect dearly when it comes to music, the Brownie family. I don't know if you know the history of the Brownie family. They started out as a group called the Brownie Bunch. And that is Dalton Brownie, Noel Brownie, Danny Brownie, Glenn Brownie, which is the biggest brother, and Clevie. They started out as a singing group called Brownie Bunch. And I used to see them doing them thing. And then after that, Danny Brownie formed a band named Bloodfire, which I became a big fan of Bloodfire as well. So when I came into Kingston, I met Cleve the first time at what's something mix? It's not Studio 2000. Them time they never owned them studio, Mixing Lab Studio. And he was just healing me up about the musical talent, and I said, boy, you're not a normal singer, and I pick up the thing, and I'm glad to meet him too. And I said, but you're not an ordinary drummer or music producer. And we big up each other and become bridgings. And then we start singing some songs. The first song we do with them was a song called Spanish Harlem. That did very well for me, especially in England, and thing. And we do a lot of works together. Even the song that I did called Rain from the Sky, I did that song from the time when No 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 came out and became that big hit.
Yeah.
But my song didn't make the album because the brother who played the trombone was nowhere to be found. So my song wasn't finished in time. So it's years after he put on the trombone, and the song just released about 5 years ago. But it's from about 25 years ago that we recorded that song.
That's crazy. That's crazy just to understand how the business works. One other producer, before I go somewhere else too, that you even brought them up early, Dave Kelly, because I know you recorded for Dave. I think it was only
Yes, man. Yes, man. Dave Kelly, man, one of the baddest dancehall producers Jamaica ever see. Well, when I did a song called She's a Maniac with Bounty Killer, that song was another massive hit song. See? Dave Kelly was very, very, very impressed with the way the song sound, with the way the song was produced. So the first thing he asked me is, who produced that song then? So I said, I produced the song. And he said, what? Then how you do that and how you do that? I said, well, I just saw it go. See him like you feel a certain style of producing and presenting a song, and you try it and it work. So he said, big up man and thing, and go link him. Because Dave Kelly was a very funny person. Him know exactly who he want to work with, and some people him just not going to work with them. I just a film thing that set. Anyway, we go check him and play him the song. Pata cook everything I see, madam. Fish I steam mediocre with a gum. Blender I mix up the cherry and the plum. Don't let me down. Don't let me say yeah that. But which was a surprise though, because Dave Kelly is a man, he have to write everything himself. So most of them big hits the way here, Bounty Killer, Baby Sham, and all of them, man, the Beanie Man, them are sing and Dave write them. Which is another credit that I give to him because he's one of the baddest dancehall songwriter. But I wrote that song, him love the song and record the song come go on away in the dancehall. There are several songs that I produce and made big hits too. You understand? From back then that some people didn't know. One of my biggest combination was with Garnett Silk.
Yeah, okay. You brought me to this story. Let's go into this one and take your time with this because I have a two-part when it comes to this story here. Continue.
All right. So Garnett Silk became a bridging because he was living up the road from where I was living. I lived like at the beginning of the road and him lived a couple houses up. You understand? On top of a hill. And he used to pass all the while and stop and we yell up each other and I say, yo, what going? And we yell up each other and him gone. And one day him pass and him stop and say, yo, Richie, so we not sing the song together yet. I'm say, all right, my boss, don't worry yourself. Me I come check you. Me have a song more here. He say, come later on about 5 o'clock. I remember I go up there and he say, all right, listen to that song here. I'm going to play the song. Get on up, stand up, fight back, and don't give in. Don't let the things they say and do weaken your heart and conquer you. Just make, and he said, stop the song, and him call him bridging them. Bagger Rasta bridging and them come and listen and thing, and every man I said, no, sir, this a pepper, this bad, and Ray, and them I said, so Richie, will you sing this song already? He said, no, man. Sing it already, but all we can do, go back to the studio and we'll just take out some of the parts and you sing some of the parts. But them time the Garnett still hot like fire. So me I said, boy, it's my song, so it's best for me to start the song and then him come in. But the conventional way them time there was for me to sing a verse and a chorus and then him come in and sing a verse and a chorus. But me I said the way the man had star, me feel like I want to share the song equally. So I came up with the idea of me singing, don't let the things they say and do, then him sing, weaken your hearts and conquer you, me. Don't make your laugh, wanna shoot him. And I know Jabba, so we sing the song line for line for line for line, and then we sing the chorus together. So that was, I think, the beginning of making songs that way. Mm-hmm. We sing the song that way there, and the song just turned out to be a scorching hit. You understand? A song that really connect all over the world and thing, you know. And I produced that song for my good friend Tap Rankin, because Tap Rankin wasn't in Kingston when the song was done. I feel the song. I called Tap Rankin and said, me have a song I want to do, and him just tell me for call Steely and Clevie and then play the rhythm and give me. I'm going to take it, go up to the studio, record myself, everything. Garnett say want to sing a song. I'm going to check Garnett, play it for him. Him love it. We record the song. And then here it is today. Big song across the world. Household hit. So the story of that.
With that song now, okay, that was the song. Now I need to hear about the dub plate, the Kilimanjaro dub plate. How did that come around?
All right, so the Kilimanjaro dub plate now. The song has scotch, the song has mash up the whole place. But them time there, Garnett still was having some problems in the country. See, he was building a house with mother and people stop thief the material and all them something. That's what I was hearing. So he used to spend a lot of time down there. Bag of people, every song want the dub. Every song want the dub. But of course, Garnett is not here, so we can't do the dub. We have to wait for him till him come in. See? So I talked to him on the phone a few times and he said, Richie, we have another song for do, you know. We have to do Seven Spanish Angel. The song that was done by Ray Charles. We have to do it. So tell the musician and just get it together. So when we forward, we're gonna just record it and say, yeah, man. And thing but then him pop up one at a time and Jaro, him and Ricky Trooper, bonafide bridging. Them time there and Jaro. The whole Jaro family and him a bridging. So him say, Richie, me come in, but me can't stay. We just come in for a little thing, but me come meet up around a Jaro and shut that one dub a film now. I'm say, all right, no problem, man. I'm read up around there. And him step in at the place and thing, and we do the intro and say, yo, Jaro, Garnett sound, Jaro, Richie sound. Say something Richie Steve now with us. So boom and shot the dub. And him cut out because bugger sound here, so him up a Jaro and I run come get the dub. And him shut out. Boy, the last time that me ever see Garnett, brother. It was really a sad moment what took place after that, which we don't have to go into. But it was really sad that it turned out the way it turned out. And I remember how happy I was when that song dropped and how the song had gone and looking forward to do so much more work. As a matter of fact, the last performance, no, that wasn't the last time I saw Garnett. The last performance he did was on my birthday bash. Based on the strength of the song, I was putting on a birthday bash and me call him and ask him if it's possible for him to come. For the birthday. Him say, I can't miss a birthday bash. I'm going to put on the birthday bash in a club named up by Ligani at the time. What is the club name? Mirage. Mirage was a big fancy club back then. And when we advertised the show and the show hype, it was me, Garnett, Silk, Brian and Tony Gold, Mikey Spice. Them time the Mikey Spice not have no fame yet. Scatter was singing for Inner Circle now and Chevelle Franklin, a little girl them time there. And nice lineup of artists. I mean, I tell you, say, when we start get closer to the show, everybody start telling me, say, Garnett, say, nah, come on the show, you know. Them time there, he was missing a couple of shows. Okay. You understand me? And people are saying, nah, come on, remember I call him and say, Garnett, I know you're busy, brother, and you don't know where your brother is, so you can't live with me. You go come at the show, you can't come. Because if you can't come, tell me so that we can put in someone in your place. Him say, Richie, worry not yourself and listen to no one. Me I come at your show. You say, all right, brother, come hear the conviction in I'm voice. And he was the kind of youth like that. If he never come, he would tell me.
Yeah.
Some just know me, no others know say I'm going to come. I'm going to bother make no other arrangement with no other artist. I remember the night of the show, when the show rammed so till it couldn't hold. I mean, people outside and couldn't come into the club. And it was a decent sized club that can hold a lot of people. And I remember everybody sing until the artists them finish off now. And we did there and we said, boy, John will start. Like Garnett, nah go come in. Like him nah go forward, you know. So they must say, boy, Richie, you don't know, you try your best. Just go up on stage and explain to the people. But you know, that was always a very uncomfortable thing to do, you know. You go up on stage and explain to people about something that is as disappointing as that, because them sang this song was the number one song in the country and everybody want to hear me and Garnett sing it because they never hear me and him sing it yet. And when we step out on the stage, you know, and the crowd reel up and feel like say, Garnett come and me I go call up Garnett, you know. And I remember when I said, break it down. And when they say, boom, and take it down now, I get ready to tell the people, and say, boy, the man not forward, you know. Me just hear a voice say, in there. But me just hear the voice and vaguely hear the voice, but me could have hear what the voice say. I know some even bother look around to see if him there or not. Me just start introducing him now. Because I still remember the conviction in him voice when him said, don't worry yourself, man, me I go there. I still remember the conviction. So me I say, so how him could have sound so convicted in a way, man tell me, and then don't show up. Me have that hard to believe, man. So when the voice say him there, me just knew same day for true. I remember when I call on the man to on stage Virgin, man, and the band start play fight back, you know. Anybody who was in that club that night can tell you. It was like the club ceiling was shaking down like it had got dropped down on the wall with the pandemonium and at the place when the man step on the stage, you know. I remember him come on stage and him hold him up on my shoulder and I saw you up and sing the song in the Virgin. I would sing the song and perform the song. And the man a sing and the man a tremble. I never forget the man and a tremble and the man sing the song and we are sing the song and we are sing the song. And then we pull up the song so till he couldn't pull up no more. And me now excuse myself from off of the stage because me I say he must have got sing at least one half dozen tunes because the people and love him, you know, them love the people them they was so in love with Garnett Silk, and Garnett Silk was so scarce during them time. Because you just couldn't really get him to do shows because most I do some things out of the country. And Billy Moley the house, I know I'm passionate about his mother, just like how me love my mother, I'm passionate about my mother. So him wanted to spend time to deal with that. So people kind of miss him. I remember him just step off of the stage and the whole crowd go quiet and me don't know if I can call him back because I don't want to call him back and him gone. So me say me I step off of the stage now for to find out what happened. And when me go around there, I say, Garnett, them want you back in there. You have to come back. Him say, Richie, are your night, man. It's not my night. It's your birthday. Look more. We talk to you tomorrow. And him cut. And that was the last time I saw him, brother. That was the last time. What's really, really, really a heavy one when news got back to us about what happened. It was really where I was torn apart so bad. So bad that me just couldn't say nothing for days. Me couldn't talk about nothing. Just the whole memory and everything that happened was just right in front of the face, and it was just sad, you know, really, really sad.
The crazy thing with it, you guys only cut one dub plate and only performed that song one time.
One time, yes. Yes, sir.
And
I still have that. I still have the video of that performance on a tape under my bed right now. I mean, just never even show nobody. We just have it.
Okay. That's crazy. That's the power of that song there, because everybody that I spoke to that talks about Garnett Silk, they say that he had a real mystical energy to him. He was a real different type of person.
He was a special human being. Garnett Silk was a special human being. He would have the kind of energy there that you don't find that kind of energy in a lot of people at all. You know, to just be on a scene and listen to him talk was a different experience. That was my vibe with him. When him talk, You know, and he and I had a great friendship that nobody know about. It's a man who just rate me, I'm just rate him because there were some things that he might do that I was doing the same thing. Like, I'll share a little part with you.
Okay.
We both come from country. We both have come from nowhere to be blessed, to have something, and Father bless we. So what him do is bring in a portion of him brothers in Kingston who wasn't as educated, him sending them back to school. Me and him buck up at the same school doing the same thing because I have a family member that I was sending to the same school.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So my bridgingship with him was more based on just how we were living, not just music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have great respect for each other based on what we were doing for families that the public don't know about.
That's wild right there. Just to even know, because again, a lot of times you only see people, but you don't know what's really happening behind the scenes because clearly you just don't sing. There's other facets to your life also with other things that you're doing and that you're involved with from time to time.
But you and I know by now that when an artist break, it's not the many people that just sit tagging along behind them and all over the place mean that much to them, you know. Because we know the entourage go to, while some of the bridging that might be genuine, some of people join the bandwagon based on the popularity of the artist or what opportunity they can get. And unfortunately, that's just the truth, you know. But there are some people who share special moments and who have a special relationship with people based on what they're doing and, you know, all these type of things. And even wish to establish it either. Just hold it there, so. Mm-hmm. We don't need to have to go out there and load up nothing. We just do what we are doing. But what we are doing is so purposeful and meaningful for our families that when me realize that I might do the same, we just develop a really great vibes. Because I remember saying, Garnett Silk, a Rasta man who believe in what I believe in, me I want ballad youth. But yet we do the big song. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people might wonder how the combination they come out or whatever, because two different vibes. But no, man, we are the same in spirit. We are doing the same purposeful, meaningful things for our families. So that is how me and him did really come together and end up singing that powerful song.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. That's an amazing story there. What I want to do, I want to go back so we could move forward because there was a big part of your journey that we didn't even get to speak about. How do you connect with Spection in the first place? Because this is the real powerhouse of artists. This was you, Shabba, Bounty, Patra, Cabra, Ghost, Dugsy Ranks, Biko Bailey. There was so much you guys. How did you connect with that camp?
Well, that whole camp that you just mentioned, some people used to call it the Motown of reggae. Mm-hmm. And it started with me and Shabba. Okay. It was with me and Shabba Ranks who started that company. Especially started manage Shabba Ranks first, and shortly after that, he started manage me. I met Specialist the first time in a dance hall in Montego Bay. Them time I didn't have buff off none yet. Them time that was when we used to record some songs with Ed and used to get some play by a sound called Tika Music, Dottie Harrell, the selector. And we used to play it, and Damali Beach used to be the hot place at the time in Montego Bay, and Specialists come from Montego Bay. So sometime I'd pass through them dance there, and a tune they have near nothing with you. Play the night and mash up the place, and it's like, man, I show him, say that you sing it, and him come over and say, yo, are you sing the song, yeah? I'm say, yeah, man. Him say, wicked, my youth, wicked. Me have a label in, and I go and voice you one day. That was my first time meeting him. I'm say, yeah, man, I will shake hands. Mm-hmm. But then, I see him for about a year after that. And the next time me I see Specialist now was when me have Buff Buff, and Derek Barnett called me up and Sting. Them time that the song just come out and Derek Barnett say, yo, me have a little youth, you know. Oh, step up Richie Stephen and run up and start sing, better get out of town, and the whole stadium mash up. And when me come off a stage, it's come buck up in a Specialist. Mm-hmm. And he just hold me and say, come here, and draw me in a car and say, yo, me need to tell you, say, we're going to do some work one day. The time is now, you know. And the man just start managing me the same night.
Because what a lot of people don't realize, before you even got to Motown, I think either your first or your second album, Specialist, is the one that put out that album there.
Mm-hmm. But before the album, let me tell you this though. Mm-hmm. You see, we have to give respect to some people who deserve it and truly deserve it. You see, Shabba Ranks, Shabba Ranks is a youth where is beyond great in the things that the trends on him set in this business. Yeah. I wouldn't say that for give no man no prop more than what them deserve. As we say, some man deserve them prop. And I was around when Shabba was in him heyday and right there because we used to tour all over the world together. And a lot of the things that I see going on now, is Shabba Ranks really started. You understand me? And we tour all of Europe, all of America, all of the Caribbean, Asia, such as Japan and these places. And way before it was popular for dancehall artists. And when we were touring in America, all of the movie stars, the Wesley Snipes, the Steven Seagal, all of the people who was running the silver screen that time there, Eddie Murphy and all them, all of them used to come to the shows. A lot of R&B and pop artists, R. Kelly them, Bobby Brown them, everybody used to be at a Shabba Ranks show. You understand? So we have to give him some credit because he's one of the man, I would say, after Yellow, that really come take it to another level and really propagate this whole dancehall culture and music. Yeah, so we can tell the story and don't put that in. See? So we have to big him up.
Crazy. And do you remember any night in particular, a show with you and Shabba on the road that you will never forget?
To be honest with you, it's difficult to pick one show and say I'll never forget. You see, what I used to admire was Shabba as an artist was one of the most exciting and electrifying artists coming out on stage. It's like when the MC come out to introduce Shabba, it's the biggest frenzy you ever see in your life, Richie. The frenzy is just so at such magnitude that sometimes it's like an eardrum. I go bust. Because you know, Shabba is a man where when him step out on stage and start run from cross stage to cross stage and start sing, get up, stand up and rock. It's like you have to be a dead man to don't get up, stand up and rock. He was a very electrifying performer on stage, Bridget, see? And every night is the same thing because I used to perform before him. And he used to say, boy, oh, Steve, my love, I don't go up on my stage, because, give me no daddy stage. Because we go out and make full presentation and hat it up. And when him forward on to come deal with it, Bridget, it is never normal. So, it's difficult to pick any one show and say, this is the night that I'll never forget because every night was the same thing. Whether we in England, or we in Japan, or we in America, or anywhere we there. When we dip on the road and Shabba take on the stage, it is nothing normal, So give some credit where it's due. It's a youth where him get him national honors there and we salute it because we think him deserve it big time. You understand, man? Yeah, man.
Crazy, because I know when you were on the road with them, everybody was on the road. This is when you met Soul to Soul. How did that happen?
Yeah, well, that meeting with Soul to Soul was a turning point in my career because I was in Brixton Academy performing, again, with the great Shabba Ranks. I step out on stage before him every night on tour. I perform, brought the house down. When me finish and come off of the stage, a man come to me and say, Richie, guess what they want to see you? He said, who? He said, Jazzy B. So I said, Jazzy B. Man, you just chill out, man, and give me some ice water, some water for me drink or something. Because them time, the Soul to Soul was the hottest group in the world. Mm-hmm. Soul to Soul was winning Grammys after Grammys after Grammys, selling platinums, triple platinums, gold, silver, you name it. Soul to Soul was just the hottest group in the world. So, of course, me think this lie I tell. I joke him a joke. So 5 minutes time, the man come back and say, yo, the man what I doing, serious, So I say, I'm to the bridge, man. Yo, tell him myself to come, man. Mm-hmm. But me a joke too.
Yeah.
A couple minutes when me look na Soul to Soul and the Soul to Soul crew come around the corner, man, and step in at the place, man. And step up and say, Richie, great performance in a patois accent. So me the surprise. Mm-hmm. And at the same time nervous, but we just perform and lock the place so we can go on like we're not cowards. So we just stand up and start talk to him like a normal Bridget.
Yeah.
and say, yes, Jazzy and Ray Tete, and we did the attack. And I said, no, man, I'm very impressed. Your vocals, your vocal is out of this world. And, we want to talk to you. And we say, yeah, man. So what is it? So in basically, they tell me that there's a song that they have that they would love to hear me on. Mm-hmm. Who they can talk to. Do I have a manager? So I send go call specialist. Specialist talk to them. We set a date for, I think, the following day. And we go listen to the song. Them give me the song and say, if you can take this back to the hotel and study it. And in another few days, we can try a recording. Try now. It's a big pop song. Anyway, they play the song and tell them play it again. Then play it about 4 or 5 times. Mm-hmm. And I said to them, what about if I try a take now? He said, but you don't know the song. We said, no, man, just give me a try. Got them time they were like sponge. Listen to the song a few times and just suck up melody and lyrics and everything that way. Mm-hmm. And that again is coming from our early training of singing dubs without making a mistake. We develop the kind of sharpness in our musical abilities that we know how now to catch on to things quickly and deliver. You see how important the dub plate is? Mm-hmm. All right. So this is what I mean when I say I am very sorry to know that those days with acetate, singing straight to acetate is no more, because them things they used to keep us as young artists on our feet. Anyway, them agreed to give me a chance. And in about 40, 45 minutes, the song was recorded and done, man. And them was so happy with the voice. Them decided, say, you don't need to change nothing else or try nothing else. And when they send the song to the record company, they choose it as the first single from the Soul to Soul album. So that was very, very, very special and magical at the same time. You understand me? And Soul to Soul was blown away because they don't work that way in pop music. In pop music, as the way how they wanted was me to go and study the song for a week or so and then come back. We don't do things like that at Jamaica. We just say, boom, boom, what's next? So anyway, they were very impressed, but they wanted to sign me. Okay. What that means, I would have to leave specialist them and go to them. Mm-hmm. And as a little loyal countryman, I never did do it, I never did do it. I just decided that, hey, I'll just stick to my management, and we went back to America. Them time it was from England to America to Japan to Europe. We hardly come to Jamaica. Mm-hmm. Anyway, specialists, they got a deal for me from Motown. Mm-hmm. So I was signed to Motown after performing on the Arsenal show, which was a major, major, major show at the time. It was like the Johnny Carson back then. You understand?
Don't gloss over that one there too simply, because Arsenio Hall is a completely different level, especially coming from a reggae, soca background or Caribbean background. That's not where you would see those type of artists on that type of a platform. Tell me what it was like going to the Arsenio Hall at that time there.
Well, first of all, when I got the call that myself and Soul to Soul will be performing, because you're talking about the biggest stars in the world that used to do the Arsenal show. Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy, Whitney Houston, you name it, the biggest star. So when you're called to perform on the Arsenal show, it's not no normal nothing. Mm-hmm. So when we get the call and them tell me basically to prepare myself to fly in to LA, we're going to stay down there 1 week to rehearse and get dancers together. Because this is not no reggae thing now. This is a big pop thing with myself and Soul to Soul. You understand? And on a given night is like 40 million people watching Arsenal show. You understand? Because it's not like now we have a million different programs to watch on the various internet channels. Them time it was just Arsenal was the #1 show.
Yes.
You understand? So we perform on that, and after we perform, I get a call about 2 days after. Specialist them say, boy, guess what? Someone saw you from Motown and decided to call us up, and a deal is structured, and we go and sign to Motown, which was a great experience because Motown is one of the most iconic record company in the world at the time, and still is today. But I think it would have been a better deal for me to sign in England, because England was where Soul to Soul was based, and England was where the song blew up, because the song went straight in the top 10 when Joy came out. The song is called Joy, by the way. It went straight into the top 10 in England. And it went from 7 to number 3. And the only 2 artists that was holding us out of number 1 and was number 1 was Michael Jackson, number 2 was Elton John.
Wow.
Yeah, with 2 songs, and it kind of stopped us from went number 1. But the song went number 1 in many countries in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a big deal for me. So if I did sign a deal in Europe, which was what I was looking for, it would have been a better thing for me. You understand? But of course, it means I would have to turn my back on my management. Well, I never really did do still, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't regret nothing. How things go, I saw it to go. I just saw it go.
Okay, in this time, one more thing I want to know about this time here. You went on tour after you signed with Motown. You went on tour with James Brown, I think Vanessa Williams, and there was one other person on that tour there too. It was 4 of you guys.
Well, it was me and Soul to Soul with James Brown and Vanessa Williams, who was also Miss America during that time. The first Black Miss America, Vanessa Williams.
What was it like to tour with somebody like James Brown in particular? Well,
during them times now, I gathered enough experience to hold my own, regardless of the show or the platform. I could handle myself now. I was very, very confident. So that was the easier part. But then now to fit into those shows and to perform up to that level was something that I was looking forward to. And we managed to pull it off because during the performance, it really opened the door for a lot of other great things that I went to do by myself in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of TV shows all over Europe, France and all these places, where you get to perform on the national TV station for the big audience, half of the country watching you on their TV. And so based on, because remember now, Top of the Pops was like the American MTV. Top of the Pops was, you don't sing on Top of the Pops in England unless you're in the top 10 national charts. And we performed on Top of the Pops. And it was so explosive that they invited us the second week to perform on Top of the Pops again, which a lot of people couldn't understand because my friend Maxi Priest called me up and said, Richie, what is going on, man? This don't happen in England, You understand? So it was just a blessed time in my life and career. A serious step, some days that I'll not forget, Some really wonderful things that happened during them times. Yeah.
Right. Because why did you guys decide to take the album more of a R&B style at that time there opposed to a reggae style? What was the thinking behind that there?
With Soul to Soul?
Well, no, when you had put out your album, when you signed on Motown now, it was more like more of R&B
I wouldn't say it was like 30%, 40% R&B and 60% reggae. And it wasn't straight R&B either. It was a little R&B with some reggae influence. And the reason being, it was a lot of that was going on them time there. If you notice, we can name some of the songs that came out them time there, and some of them make big hits. House Call with Shabba and Maxi Priest was a crossover hit. Songs like Weekend Girl by Tony Blanc, Queen Latifah. Cobra with a song called Flex. So that kind of sound was new to amalgamate reggae with a little R&B in it. So when I come with a song called Every Time You're There, our legacy with Matt Kroger, it was just a style that we created here in Jamaica to put the two genres together. So I had about 40% of that on the album, and then the rest was just reggae.
Crazy there. All right, that's what's going on there. Now I want to skip forward back to where we were earlier. You brought up a song, Maniac, that you did with Bounty Killer. How did that come around in the first place? Because I know out of every artist you done songs with, it seems like Bounty Killer is the one. That's the Richie and Bounty. You could guarantee those two are going to put out some good music together. And I think that's probably the person you collaborated the most in your career.
It's true. Well, let me start with the creation of the song. I was in a party one night. Stone Love was playing.
Mhm.
And a particular rhythm came on and started and I groove to the rhythm and then I find myself start singing She's a Maniac on the rhythm. And it have a feel and a vibe to it. But I said to myself, if I was to sing She's a Maniac on a rhythm like this, I'd prefer to move the chords and make it more musical instead of just a drum and bass or a one chord rhythm. But the strange thing is, back then, dancehall was not known to be pretty music. It was like more a drum and bass with a one chord, not moving kind of thing. So this would be unconventional for me to do something like this. But knowing me, if you know me at all, I am gonna try something new. So I call in Lenky. Lenky is like a crazy young musician coming up who wouldn't be afraid to take the chance. I know if I call certain other musician, them would have probably tell me, no, Richie man, that's foolishness. Not like how that sound. But Lenky would be someone to take the chance. However, before Lenky, I went to Sly Dunbar and said, Sly, you know me, I feel this, and I sing the song to him and say, I feel this, and him say, Wicked Richie. And Sly create a jump pattern for me. So when Sly create the jump pattern and give it to me now, that's when I went to Main Street and call up Lenky. Lenky forward and decide, say, all right, you know, say, me love how this sound, Richie. How about this? And him start play the thing and start play it. And I said, then Lenky, then and that me I talk about, man, that's why I call you. And he played on the track and everything. And of course, other musicians or other music associates in the studio couldn't understand what we're doing at the time because, as I said, dancehall music no sound that way there during them time there. So me sing down the music now, put on the harmonies and everything, and it just sounds sweet like an R&B kind of thing. But then now the plan was just to get Killer to put the hardcore element to the song. That's something I had in mind. Me never tell nobody, not even Lenky, me not tell that. Right? Because Killer living in Seaview right beside my family. I have some family, brothers and sisters in Seaview that Killer them neighbor. Never met Killer before, but this was just my intention to do the rhythm, then bring it to him. I never wanted to go to him and tell him, so me have a song that I like me, you know. I want to produce the song and make him hear it just like how I'm going to do it with Garnett Silk. So anyway, finish up the song, go check Killer. Call my brother, say, me and you go down a Killer. Boom. As I said, 2 doors down from his house. Call out Killer come out and say, well, go and Richie. I said, there, rude boy. Glad to meet you. And think my brother is tell me about you and Ray. And listen to the song and said, this bad. Love this bad. Because I was wondering if he was going to like it.
Got you. Because
as I say, it sound a bit different. So him love it. And boom, we book the time. No, him asked me, him say, when we advise this? So I say, tomorrow. He say, all right, tomorrow, what time? Then I call him with the time, get the time, call him, tell him, Killer forward with the entire Seaview crew behind him. Boom, we go into the studio, the man bring about 4 different verses him have, and we only have space for 2. Lyrics to kill with the man, right? Anyway, him come and put on him voice, wicked. But there was a little glitch in the song.
Yeah.
Key-wise, you know? And him recorded the day, and I say, all right, now I have to know how to approach this now. Because them time they know youth young, youth full of ego. You have to careful how you try to deal with a youth, especially in front of massive and thing. For most artists, that's how them used to operate. I say, but this nah stay. Me have to change this today. Because me know musically it can be better. So anyway, I bring him outside and say, yo, rude boy. Wicked enough, but there's a part in it, blah, 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 blah. Explain to him, and he just look at me and say, are you the maestro, you know? So anything you say, I can go back in there and fix it. From them time there, me and Killer have a mutual respect for each other because he know me to be a man who would not go and bullshit him, and if the thing for go that way there, me I go tell him, say, I saw it for go, you know, or I saw me feel so it for go. And he's a youth will listen to me over the years. So we maintain that kind of relationship. From then till now, it not changed. As I saw it go with me and him. Musically and outside of music. See, as some straight up talk. It's not only yes It's not a yes man thing. It's if I saw the thing, I saw the thing. If it not go so, it not go so. So I would say we have a solid, firm, respectful relationship. Yes, sir.
Because that right there is another hit that you guys created together. But this one here is really special. Pot of Gold. Because in this music video has your mom and his mom in the video.
Yes,
so that's
sir.
a different level of displaying the love that you guys and the admiration you have for your mothers. How did you guys come up with that one there?
All right, so Pot of Gold is a song that I wrote long ago and recorded it by myself long ago. But it became a very significant song in my life. Remember when I was telling you that no respect to Jammies, because when I made the first set of money, I started a business for my mother in the country.
Mm-hmm.
What I was explaining is that I am from a fishing village in the place called Russia. Most of the people make their living from the sea. So I bought a fishing boat and an engine to start up a little business for my mother, and the boat became Pot of Gold.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, years passed by, start my little studio. The studio became Pot of Gold. Then we start my record label. The record label became Pot of Gold Production. And I saw Pot of Gold is going on in my life. So I decided to re-record the song. So I re-record the song. And I remember I playing on the radio and Killer called me up and said, Richie, I love that tune there. Because I had more than one version. I was version with me and a youth named DYC. But the original version was by myself. Mm-hmm. So till I hear the one with myself and say, boy, I made a love to be a part of that song. So it's no problem. Come in, Killer, because I'm going to say, Killer, I'm a little brother, I'm an artist that. Mm-hmm. So we record the song. We put out the song. The song became a significant song again because the addition of Killer vocal, and what he was talking about was his personal experience growing up with his mother. And then the whole idea of putting the two mothers in the video come around, and we decide, so boy, we are going to do it. So even though when I look at that video, it's a very touching video because both our mothers in there, our kids who are young little kids, them time they are big man and big woman now. So, it's just a really special video to us. And the song itself is a very special song because Mama deserves a piece. But this song is a special song and will always be a special song to us. And always play in the dance hall and always play on the radio. Never stop. That's how special the song is.
Crazy, big song.
About almost 30 years ago, to be honest with you. In 91, 92, we did our first song, a song called Mama's Blessing.
Yes.
And this song did fairly well for us. It was our first recording. And after that, we did quite a few other songs. And I put one of them on my gospel album. And then in about 98, somewhere there, Shine did very well for us. Yes. It went number one in Cayman. It went number one in Montreal, Canada. We went on a tour to those places, Cayman, Canada, and then to America. And it was going on. But while doing all of those runs, I realized how difficult and how pressuring it's going to be on my mother if I should try to give her a career in music. So there was always a little hesitation because, mama is mama. And who wants to put their mother in any kind of stressful situation if she don't have to? So I kind of did ease up, to be honest with you. But it's always on my mind. And something that I want to do. It's always rest on my mind that there's something that I want to do with my mother's career, which is to really let her live her dream. But I was trying to figure out how I was going to do that in giving her the chance, but at the same time be protective of her and not to expose her to the music business at large, because so the music business is not as beautiful and pretty as it seems. There are some harsh realities that you're going to have to face if you're in music, So again, that was a delay in the way we do things. But since here, I was sitting in the back of my yard and there was a song playing on the radio they called Moses. And I was there listening to the song and say, it would be one of the most beautiful things for my mother to do a cover of this song. However, the song is not an easy song to sing. It's a song with a very high pitch. And I say, what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to my mother and I'm going to ask her to pitch this note. They called him Moses, which is the highest part of the song. And she smiled and then just pitched the note with the ease that she pitched the note, and I realized that, hey, she still got that pipe. You still can work on some things together. So I started calling in the musicians, people like Earl Chinna-Simit, people like Otney Lewis, Light Parks, the great Light Parks, and quite a few other musicians. We laid the rhythm track down. Then I went into the studio with her, spent some time, get the voice down, and after I put the voice down, the first person who was blown away was Earl Chinna-Simit. Now, Earl Chinna-Simit is one of the most brilliant guitarists in the business, period. He's the one that played on One Love, One Heart by Bob Marley, the great Light Parks and bass, and they were all blown at age. So, after I put the song out, all the accolades start coming in. People like Sanchez, Master Griffiths, Freddie McGregor, they all call up to congratulate my mother and say, boy, after all these years, my mother's still blessed to have that sound, no cracks, no glitch. She just singing from her soul as freely like that. And I say, you know what, let me continue what I was doing for years and years and years, which is to put some stuff together and create an album. And this now would allow her to live her dream, and at the same time to be one of the biggest achievement in my head. We put the album together. The album is now released and out there, and people are loving it. People are playing it everywhere on different radio stations around the world. And we are just feeling so elated about it and just giving God all the glory. So that is what is going on right now.
Where could they check you out on social media if they wanted to get in contact with you for dubs or anything like that? Leave some social media handles before we get out of here.
Okay, well, it's Rich Skeng 2 and Richie Stevens 2 on Instagram, RichieStepens 2 on Instagram, and it's just Richie Stevens on Facebook. So you can find me there. You can find me. I'm not hard to find. All right? I link up and chat with people every day. I'm not one of them artists who you can't find. All right? But yeah, man, I'm out there like that. And please check out the album. Go purchase the album.
This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinedmusichut.com.